Please talk to me in the chat room if you are here and you can hear me live. Good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you're a doctor, nurse, pharmacist, therapist, psychiatrist, nephrologist, neurologist, any aspect of healthcare, you are into physiotherapy, you are into mental health therapy, any area you are more than qualified to earn more than what you are earning now. If you have ever thought of how can I earn more, how can I do more, how can I make a better impact in my environment, how can I share my knowledge beyond my city or hospital, how can I create something that pays me even when I sleep, then you are in the right place. Welcome. Stay with me because by the end of this session, you'll see exactly how to start turning what you know, surprisingly, what you already know, your hard earned medical knowledge, into real income online. So, welcome. What gave me the right to speak to you on this? At age 16, I got admitted into the Ogun State School of Nursing in Ijebu-Ode, and I was there for my nursing education, a 3-year program. 6 months into my program, we had what we call a PTS break, a 2 weeks holiday, and I went home to visit my parents in Abeokuta. And I got home like on Friday. By Sunday, my mom fell ill. She had been nursing diabetes for about 3 years. I've also been her carer within that time. And then on Monday, we took her to hospital for admission. And we were told that she has had high blood pressure and that has culminated in a heart failure. That's when I knew what was called CCF as it is. And by the Friday of that week, I was 16, my mom was 52, she died in my hands. About 10 minutes to 12 in the midnight. And my father was there with us. And so she was certified dead, and we took her to the mortuary that night. And that experience turned my whole life around. And I finished my nursing education in 3 years. 18 of us passed out of the 44 that gained admission at the same time. And then in my final year, I was recruited into the military in Nigeria. I went for military training and I had my rank and everything. And I was posted and I served in the Nigerian military for 7 years. Within that period, I went on study leave and I did my midwifery also. So I'm a registered nurse and midwife, and I served in the military for 7 years, after which I started asking myself questions again. You know, in life, you must learn to speak to yourself. You must ask yourself, am I on the path to where I would like to be? And that questioning starts by you having clarity of where you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 30 years. At retirement, what picture do you have? The period between your retirement, which is most likely maybe 60 or 65, till death, what kind of lifestyle would you like to live? So I started asking myself those questions. What do I need to do so that whatever happened to my mother will not happen to me? Those were the questions I was asking myself. Because 2 years after her death, we were paid her gratuity. And that gratuity was about 15,000 naira. And I'm talking of about 40 years ago. And when that happened, I spoke to myself again that this must not happen to me. If that will not happen to me, then I cannot follow the same route that my mother took. My mother was a teacher all her life, and so she retired and she was paid gratuity. And so I started asking questions. And the first realization that hit me was I looked around at my senior colleagues that had served for 30 years, and I saw them being retired without a notice. And I simply told myself that if I stay here, the same thing will happen to me. So, what do I need to do differently? I decided that I will choose the path of entrepreneurship. And so in March 1993, at the age of 25, I resigned against all counsel. In fact, I took the act before I got home to inform my father. So he couldn't believe his ears. It was like, "You cannot resign." I said, "Sir, I'm not taking permission. I'm simply informing you." There is no way I could have explained it to him. He wouldn't get it because the only thing they know was what they counsel us to do, which is go to school, pass well, get a good job, serve for 30, 35, 40 years, retire, and live a quiet life. But I did not want that. And so I took the bull by the horn because for 7 years I had no savings. And that means it's going to just be marking time. And I didn't want that. So, what will I do? I don't even know. I was only convinced that that path will not take me to my desired destination. So, what would you like to be in your retirement? Even now that you're working, are you satisfied? Are you happy? Are you getting what you thought you will get? Because I usually tell people, I said, when you apply for a job and you get a letter of appointment, we're so excited that we don't sit down to understand the content of the letter. And so along the line, many times, we start grumbling, we start complaining. And I asked the question, I said, who gave you the guarantee that you'll be promoted every 3 years? It was not there. It was an assumption on our part. Probably we were fed with half information by those who were guiding us, and we did not ask more questions. So, that is my story. I resigned in March 1993. I started business with just 500 naira. And the first business I did, guess, was to sell fresh fish. Because I moved to a town called Epe in Lagos State. And the only industry there was the fresh fish market. And so I started. Hello, Janet. Thank you for joining. That was what I started with. Of course, I've not practiced nursing since 1993. I have been in entrepreneurship. And so for about 6 years, I was into trading. I did catering. I cleared cars. I went along the West African coast. I cleared cars. I imported clothes to sell. I did a lot. Then in 1999, I got to know about the wellness industry. And so since 1999 till today, now this video is being recorded in July 2025. So for the past 26 years, I have been doing business in the wellness space. And that is why today I am talking to you if you are a healthcare professional and you have been thinking of what else can you do to build and to create and build an extra stream of income. So I felt that my destiny was not in my hand, which was true because you don't decide your promotion. It's determined by a policy or policies that you cannot control. You are overworked, you run shifts, and as a woman, being in the military was even worse because posting up and down, threats from senior male colleagues every day. So there is no guarantee of promotion. There's no guarantee that it will not have an adverse effect on the home that you have plans to create. So being underpaid, because you find out that you spend the salary Nobody taught us how to manage our finances. So you just consume. And then in 7 years, I realized I had no savings, like many of us that are employed. You miss family events, you have to be negotiating shifts all the time. You're looking for who to change with. A lot of things happen. And then sometimes you feel trapped with your hospital schedule. Today, you find just two nurses. We are understaffed. Most of our hospitals today are understaffed. I visited a teaching hospital a while ago, about 3 years ago. And where you're supposed to have 4 people on night shift, you have two. And it was so bad, the tap in the hospital was not running. The nurses themselves had to buy water to wash their hands. It has become that bad. So many people are working under very bad, adverse conditions that are detrimental to their own health. We've had doctors slumping while doing rounds. We've had nurses collapsing on duty. It was not this bad before, but things have changed. So many a times we are angry, frustrated, taking it out on patients and their relatives. And so when you meet a lot of patients or families who have had patients in recent times in hospital, they speak, very, very unkindly about medical professionals, thinking that we do not sympathize with them, not understanding that these professionals are working under very bad conditions that are not healthy for them, that affects their mental health. So you look at your pay slip at the end of the month and you feel, is this stress worth, is this money worth this stress? And then you're frustrated and all of that. And then you're also scared. You don't know what else to do because all you have been taught is to practice your skill. And that is what is hindering us, the mindset. The mindset that you are now a professional, you can only eat with your certificate. You can only offer your services because that's what we're doing. You're offering your nursing care services, you're offering your medical lab scientist services, you're offering your medical, being a medical doctor means you consult and you get paid for doing that. So all of that has limited us. And so when you find people having dreams of relocation, it means, okay, I'm not well paid in Nigeria. Let me go to Saudi. Let me go to UK. Let me go to the US and then practice as nurses. And you find out that, yes, the pay may seem good, but the environment, the bills eat up the money. And it's worse there because you're not running 12-hour shift and all of that. And what do you gain at the end of the day? A lot of my colleagues that relocated abroad, today they cannot stand on their 2 feet. By the time they want to do their 60th birthday, arthritis, bad one, they can't stand. It damages the health because, like I always say, you are working with the whole of the water and the blood in your system. So it's not always giving us the results that you want. Selling skill may not give you wealth because you are an employee or self-employed. When I choose entrepreneurship, I could not explain it to anybody. But I've convinced myself that if I want a good, retirement life, I have to follow the entrepreneurial path. I didn't have any direct mentor. I didn't have anybody to ask questions. I just, in my head, know that being a salary earner will not give me the kind of freedom that I want in retirement. Life is in 3 phases. There's 0 to 25 when we go to school and we plan for our adulthood. And then there's 26 to 60. That's a 35-year period where you are active and you are expected to pay your bill, earn, and do well. if what you do in these 35 years will not pay for your retirement years, then it will be disastrous. Because what will happen is that you retire at age 60, and then we pray every day for long life. And when God answers that prayer and He allows you to live to be 85 or 90 or 100, the question I always ask is, who will pay the bill? The era of waiting for our children has gone. They have their own challenges. And these days, you cannot just wait on your gratuity and pension. It does not come as at when due. You can't live your life at the mercy of a politician who may choose not to pay. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that is the issue. And because I chose a different route, I have gotten a different result. I resigned from my job at age 25. By the time I was 34, I had built my own retirement package that we call a residual income. Now I'm 57. I've been earning a residual income since age 34, which is over 20 years ago. And so today, I coach professionals like you to do the same. Because I have done it, it's easy for me to show you what to do. So how can you use your medical expertise in new modern ways that actually pay well? That's what we'll be talking about tonight as I show you the roadmap. So in 1999, I got introduced to the wellness industry. Between then and now, the industry has grown, over 1,000%. As we speak in 2025, the wellness industry is worth over $7.5 trillion. So you can make money from there, even as you earn from the sickness industry. I hope you know they are different. The sickness industry is when we wait for the client to fall ill. It's like a fire brigade approach. And so when it comes to the hospital, we're doing what we call a palliative, a curative treatment. We're treating the signs and symptoms. A lot of times, they nurse the diabetes, the hypertension, the arthritis for life. Sometimes we do surgical intervention. Sometimes we do medical intervention. What we're trying to do is help them manage the ailment. But there is this wellness industry that has grown. And in the wellness industry is more like preventive. We're educating people on how to prevent ailments. There are things you can do. Today we call some diseases lifestyle-induced diseases. Hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, obesity, they are lifestyle-induced. Meaning, if we educate people on how to live well, live a health-conscious life, they can prevent those diseases. And where they are already sick, we can guide them to naturally manage those diseases and be able to come out of them gradually by adjusting their lifestyle. Because we know what predisposes people to those diseases. So if we educate them, they can also manage and come out of them and gradually reduce their dependence on drugs. Because as you all know, and we know, that every drug has side effect. Every. So you find out that as people are using medications to manage these ailments, they are also, deriving some other complications. I had a free health coaching call with a man today. He's in Aba. He lives in Aba. And we were talking. He has high blood pressure. And it was because he has been on antihypertensives. Of course, he's already having low libido. And I had to explain the relationship to him. When there's high blood pressure and we recommend antihypertensives, as he's using the antihypertensives that are instructing all the muscles in the body to relax, including the blood vessels, that relaxation affects the blood vessels too, the male reproductive organ too. It also relaxes. And out of ignorance, many men don't know that there's a connection between the two. They now go for aphrodisiacs, both natural and the chemical one, to restore their erection. And then there's trouble. Because on one hand, the antihypertensives are giving the body instruction to relax. On the other hand, the aphrodisiacs are instructing the heart and the vessels, blood vessels, to constrict, because there is a need for increased blood supply to the male reproductive organ for it to function well. So this contradictory instruction causes havoc in the body, but many don't know. And so today, how can you make more impact? It's by creating awareness. That knowledge you have acquired can be brought into the marketplace, and you can help your clients better. So, healthcare workers are some of the smartest, most dedicated people in the society. When you're a healthcare worker, you learn leadership, you learn self-development, you learn self-leadership, because you are able to take charge of the ward, of your department. I mean, there are many things we learn with our health and with our education, but we're mostly undervalued financially. I can tell you, because among my father's children were 5 nurses. I happen to be the youngest. So I grew up with all my sisters that are nurses, and experienced it too. We work long hours, most times on our feet. There's emotional exhaustion. There's limited earning ceiling, and there's no time freedom. Being a healthcare worker means you can be on essential duty. That's how they call it. You can be off duty and you are called for. You can be called back, especially for those of us that served in the military. Your roster can say off duty, but you cannot travel without writing application for permission, because it's an essential duty and you can be called upon. Worse still, our knowledge is limited to whoever can see us in person. So, as a nurse, you can only work with the patients that you are in charge of in the ward per time. So, that is limiting. So, what if I want you to see a brand new vision now? I want to show you a bigger vision than what you have ever experienced. What if, instead of being limited, you could serve thousands of people beyond your hospital or clinic? Can you imagine you on the field making impact in a bigger way? What if you can package your expertise as online courses, as coaching, as consulting, or digital products? What if you can earn while you sleep from anywhere in the world? Yes, you can relocate from Nigeria to America. But if all you do in America is what you have been doing in Nigeria, you are still limited. You have only changed location geographically. It has not affected your mindset. If you leave Nigeria, maybe you are earning 150,000 or 200,000 naira a month in Nigeria, and you relocate to UK, and now you are earning 2,000 pounds. Yes, it looks as if the money has more value, but I can tell you that at the end of the month, you may not even be able to save anything. So it's not the amount of money. My first trip to the UK was in 2003. And one of my senior sisters, 3 of them were already there at that time. I just went on holiday. And one of them said, "Oh, I've collected the UKCC form for you." And I said, "What do they do with it?" She said, "Oh, so that you can do adaptation and start practicing here." I said, not me. I hope they will return your money to you. I cannot practice nursing anywhere, because my trip to the UK, I went with pounds to spend. It was a 3 week holiday. I said, sister, I will continue to live in Nigeria. Because whatever you think you are earning here, I'm already doing better in Nigeria. What we need is financial intelligence. It's not about changing location physically, no. It's about having the right mindset towards wealth creation. If you continue to serve the same skill that you are serving, even for a higher pay, you are still restricted. Wealth building is a different ball game. So, today, I can boldly tell you that many health professionals are shifting towards what I want to tell you now, like I have done in over 20 years. So, let's get practical. You will need to identify your expertise and audience. What solution would you like to bring to the marketplace? You can start with the research. If you go on Google and simply ask, what is the most asked health problem, question that people want to know? Maybe it's diabetes or hypertension, maybe it's arthritis or obesity. You need to do your research based on your location, based on your target audience. If you want to focus on men or you want to focus on women, you need to do your research and know what your offer will be. You have to prepare your offer. So what do you know that solves that real problem? Who needs this knowledge? So maybe you're coming with diabetes management, fertility, weight loss, pain management, mental health, healthy aging. There are many niches. You will need to niche down. For instance, I talk more to men on how to manage stress naturally. And why? According to recent research, 52% of men now have high blood pressure. And it's a result of their inability to manage stress. We go through stress every day, but how do you respond to it? Or what is the effect of stress on your body? So find who needs this, and then what are you offering? So choose your online business model: online coaching or consulting, digital courses, ebooks or guides, membership groups, paid webinars, affiliate marketing of health products. That's choosing your online business model. There are many models. Another area is build your online presence. As health professionals, there are many people on LinkedIn because it's a professional platform. But if you really want to reach, that's when you want to go corporate. If you want to maybe be talking to organizations, help them in talking about retirement, about wellness and all of that, then LinkedIn may be good for you. Otherwise, you do Facebook, you can do YouTube like we are doing, you can do Instagram. It's good. You can reach your clients on these platforms. You can have a personal website or landing page, and you can also build an email list. So you want to build your online presence, be very intentional. You are coming out with information. Where do you want to build your online DNA? That's how it is called. So don't try to be everywhere. Choose the platforms where your target audience are. Create your offer. So solve a specific problem, like I said earlier. Be clear about your price. Make it easy to buy. You can create your offer by first being educated yourself on wellness. What we have learned is mostly curative. Now there's a need to come towards the preventive part. So you are not waiting for patients to come to you with an ailment. You are going to them to educate more on preventive. So there are certifications you may need to do to switch so that you can package your offer better. So launch and market. Post educational content, share client wins, that is testimonials, run simple ads, go live just like this, like what I'm doing. You can choose to go live once every week. Just choose a small aspect of your offer and talk about it. You may want to talk about diet and diabetes. What can you eat? What can you find around you? Things like that. So, I'll tell you, for me, my niche is in the stress management area for men. I have a pharmacist who does more of prostate issues for men. She's a pharmacist, she's already 60, and she has 2 community pharmacy shops. She observed that a lot of men are coming to her for inquiries about prostate issues. Because when a man is 40 and above, there's a tendency for the prostate gland to enlarge, and that begins to disturb urination and libido and all of that. So she chose to educate men on that area. And today, she's making her money with a packaged product. She went into affiliation with an American company, and she packages prostate products for prostate issue. So that is what she is doing. I have a retired school owner who had nothing to do with health at the initial time, but she also learned guidance and counseling. So she's able to, now in her early 70s, she is working with men and women on how to slow down the aging process. So it's aging healthy. And for most people in their old age, they have high blood pressure. So she also educates them on how to manage high blood pressure naturally. She she closed down her school after running a school for 18 years, and now she has done recertification. She's now a certified wellness coach. She sits in her house and works online. She has a customer base of over 200 people that she services every month with health coaching and sales of organic health supplements. She makes over #1 million every month working from home. When the last time I visited her, with all the excitement, she just say, "Efo, thank you for showing me this. I don't have to go out of my house." Now, when I started with her, she didn't even know how to post on Facebook. But we will sit down together and I will show her on her phone. And today she posts content every day. She has learned how to use ChatGPT. She's 75 already. She has learned how to generate her content. She has learned how to service people with health care information. So, we are in the information age. A lot of things have changed. These days, you don't just tell somebody, go and use this, go and use this. No, you need to educate them first so that you carry them along. Today, people ask questions. A lot will ask questions. So today I just spoke with a team member. She's in Abeokuta, and she just finished her website to talk to people about diabetes. She's already a certified wellness coach. She started with me over 10 years ago. And why will she choose diabetes? Her father had amputation, so she started learning about diabetes. And by the time her mom had, she got to know about wellness, got the product for her mother, and the mother lived for an extra 15 years before the mother passed on. Because she learned about wellness, she was able to help her mother. So today, she tells her story and she chooses to work with people who have diabetes. She used to be a cash cash produce seller. That was her initial career. But today, she's a certified wellness coach. Not to talk of those of us that are healthcare professionals. If people who did not have the basic information that we have can come into the industry and thrive, what is stopping you? If you work, whether in the UK or the US, till a particular age, you're going to retire. Have you built a residual income? But in this wellness industry, you can build a residual income so that after retirement, you have this money still coming to you every month. Two, it is generational, it is willable. You go into partnership with an established corporate organization, it's called leveraged sales. The same thing you teach other people. And there's no limit to the number of people you can train and coach to be doing what you're doing. And every month, you earn a bonus on the sales generated by your team. You are creating your own business. If you have gone through the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, when I read the book and I watched the video called The Perfect Business, honestly, I told myself, this is deliverance of the mind. Because I understood why my mother died poor. She remained a teacher all her life, and that means she was an employee. When you're an employee all your life, you're trading time for money. And because the time you're trading is, limited, everybody has only 24 hours a day. And labor law says you can sell 8 hours a day. So even when you are doing 12 hours, you are still trading time for money. You are paid per hour, yes, but only for the hour that you are present. You cannot work for 24 hours a day. And that's why healthcare professionals are stressed. Because we're trying to become wealthy, selling time. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. You can only create wealth when you understand leverage. Leverage is when you are earning from the time and effort of other people, either through incorporation, franchising, or network marketing, leverage sales. So when you open a hospital, if you're a medical doctor, you open a hospital. When the hospital runs only when you are physically present, you are self-employed though. But when you put up a structure and the hospital can run without you, you have a structure, you have doctors on duty, you have an organogram, and the hospital is running, then you are a business owner. There's a difference. But as a medical doctor, if you are working in UCH in the morning and you run your private clinic in the evening, you are both an employee and self-employed in the evening. It cannot lead to wealth creation. But when you cross to the right side of the quadrant, you become a hospital owner. And then you put up a structure that hospital can run whether you are physically present or not. Then we will say you have built a business through incorporation. So there is the skill of medicine, there's a business of medicine. They are different. So you need to understand it. As an employee of UCH, you trade time for money. As a doctor who owns his private clinic, you are self-employed. You still make money when you are there. But as a doctor who runs a hospital on a structure that can work with or without him, then we call you a business owner. That's when you have used incorporation to set up a business, and now with a structure and system, it is running without you. That's when you're a business owner. So you can either do that, or you can buy a franchise. In the healthcare industry, you can own a franchise. You need a large amount of money to set it up, but it is yours. It will give you returns. You are leveraging other people's goodwill. And thirdly, you can go into partnership with an established health-based company and be their ambassador. Speak to create awareness about their products, and then generate sales, which will give you retail profits. And then the company says, You can also introduce other people to us, train them to do what you are doing. And on everything they buy from us, we pay you bonuses. So that's what I have been doing for 26 years. And I tell you, my background information has given me a leverage. So that knowledge that you have, let us work together to convert it to cash for you online. 10 to 15 hours per week is enough to generate an extra stream of income. I have worked with thousands of people globally. So there are people we recruited in Nigeria and trained them, and today they've relocated abroad. But do you know that as long as they buy the products, whether for personal use or for retailing, the company continues to pay commission? Why? You are the coach. So you work hard for 5 years. So I always say the 5-year career path with Coach FO. So you work hard for 5 years, build this network of professionals with yourself, and you continue to earn what we call a residual income. That's like your pension, and it comes every month, and it can come in multiple currencies. I'm very passionate about this, very, very passionate about this. And I'm looking for how many people would like to build this extra stream of income. So even if you choose to relocate abroad tomorrow, you are still relocating to a job. It still does not give you the financial freedom that you really, really crave for. But when we sit down together, we will help you to convert your knowledge into online cash. That's what we are talking about here. So, if you are interested, we have a slot for only 5 people. Today is 11th of July 2025, and I tell you that for the next 90 days, we can set up your own income in the next 3 months or even lesser than that. Depends on you. 10 to 15 hours per week, and we build an extra stream of income for you. So this is a special call for healthcare professionals who want step-by-step help to launch their own online health business. I will help you identify your niche. I'll help you to build your offer. We will market it online, and you will get paying clients 15 hours per week. I hope you know the value of your time. When you relocate outside Nigeria, you get paid per hour. And that money paid is one time. But when you do that with us, you get paid multiple times for the same 1 hour. So if that is you, you would like for me to work with you, I have only 5 slots open for July, August, and September. Only 5 slots. If you are one, please send me a message on this YouTube channel. Send me a direct message. I will respond to you personally. My phone number, you can also send me a WhatsApp message. My phone number is 081 00004101. I live in Nigeria, so if you are outside Nigeria, please put +234 in front. 081 00004101. And if you leave a message on this YouTube channel, please subscribe to this channel for more information like this. And there are loads of materials that we can share with you, and then we will grow together. To everyone who joined live tonight, thank you. I know you are busy, but remember this: your expertise is valuable, much more than you can think of. Don't die with your knowledge stuck in a hospital room and complaining. No. See beyond your physical location. Share it, scale it, and let us help you to monetize it. That knowledge is very useful because when you turn your expertise into cash online, you not only change your life, you help even more people. I'm Coach FO. Let's build your legacy together. I look forward to working with you. Have a restful evening. Have a great time. I look forward to seeing you some other time. God bless you. Thank you.